Hey folks, I am Becky with Enduring Finances. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a look at the breakdown for my budget and my net worth updates for the month of September of 2023. So let's go ahead and jump into that. First things first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the goals that I had set for myself to accomplish in the month of September. First off, I've been working a lot on physicality, physical health, mental health. So I wanted to weight train twice a week, do cardio training twice a week, and I did not do weight training twice a week. I just was working really hard on a different goal, which was taking down the fallen tree and fixing the fence, and that was a very physical goal, and had some family come into town, and it just didn't happen every single week. Most of the weeks, but not every single week. I did count cutting down the tree as cardio though, because my heart rate was through the roof, and so I was able to accomplish that. And I was able to go ahead and knock down the tree that had fallen over almost 2 years ago from my neighbor's backyard, and cut that down, took down the fence, saved most of it, and then finished cutting all the wood and put the fence back up, and it looks great in my opinion. It's not perfect, but the fence wasn't perfect before and it's old, so I will take it. I wanted to potentially go on a last summer camping trip. That did not happen just with the way everything went. I did not really catch up on my photo backlog. I think the thing that I'm finally starting to click with, which I'm sure everyone is like, okay, Becky, why did this take you so long? You can't put 100% into everything that you're doing, and so if I'm doing one thing with all of my effort, I really can't do something else, and so I'm looking at adjusting my steps forward in life to kind of caveat to that, which has taken me 31 years to learn. And then I did not save $100 for house projects because, same thing before, you can't do everything at the same time. So that's where I'm at with the goals for September. Let's go ahead and take a look at the goals that I set for myself for the month of October. So yet again, we're going back on that health and fitness journey. Weight training twice a week, doing cardio training twice a week. And then I have a tree stump that has been out front of my house since the day I moved in. I don't know exactly what happened with the backstory on that, but it is ginormously huge and an eyesore for me and impeding a lot of the yard projects that I want to do in my house. And so my goal for the month of October is to take that down to the ground as close as possible and as safe as possible with the chainsaw. I want to go on a fall hike and see the colors here. It is just, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a beautiful fall this year. I want to continue to catch up on my photo backlog as far as stock photography, and then save $100 for future house projects, like, putting in a sprinkler system and things like that. So those are my goals for the month of October. Let's go ahead and check out my budget for the month of September and see how I did as far as hitting the nail on the head. Alright, so first things first, we can see that my mortgage, $1,305, check that off. My car insurance is $59.52. My trash was a little bit more. They adjust it every single year based on whatever calculations, and it's on a daily calculation, so that makes sense because we're in the longest months of the year. So I spent $46.04 on that. My sewer payment went out for $72, and then of course my internet split between business and personal for $9.60 on the personal side. Didn't have to pay my water this month because it is an odd month. And then as far as electrical, we came in a little bit under what I was estimating, paying $121.51, and everything in my house is electrical. I do not have any gas set up, and it has been that way since I moved in, so I don't have gas payments. Let's go ahead and jump into my groceries, where we can see I spent $402.19. We went quite a few times here, just stocking up and looking at that, so I'm happy with that. I think we did alright as far as one of the longer months of the year. As far as eating out, I had a friend come into town and we went and got coffee together, so I spent $4 on that. As far as gas expenses, we are way under what I was estimating. We went and got gas 3 times. We didn't do a lot of traveling with that, did we? No, which means we probably didn't earn a lot of extra additional income. We did credit the personal expenses with $33.46 from the business side of gas usage, but we ended up spending a total of $93.57 on personal gas spending. And then as far as health and maintenance, $300 on counseling, which I am still going strong. We just hit our 1 year of doing that, and my therapist and I are doing really good. I think she's fantastic, and I am happy to see what happens in the future as far as making progress with that, because we've come a long way. And then I had to go back in for dental work because I wasn't very good at brushing my teeth for a while there. They were fixing a filling that I got when I was in the military that was crap, and just took that out and redid that, and then did a little bit of work on a problem tooth that I have that creates like a pocket where I get food all the time. And so I try really hard to keep it clean, but it is a cavity source. So we ended up spending $778.55 on health and maintenance. As far as fun and other, I spent $7.22 on books, mainly at the thrift store, because I was doing a lot of Christmas and birthday shopping this month, preparing for my niece's birthday and Christmas. I spent $21.18 on work shoes, and then we talked about fixing that fence. Well, I did it, and I ended up spending $23.77 total to fix that fence, and that includes the gas for the chainsaw and the small amount of wood that I did have to purchase to fix the fence itself. So I'm very happy with that. I think it turned out really well. I spent $51.92 on dog food for Jackson, and then a big one, I spent $54.89 on bird seed. And this is because I, like my mother and my grandmother and everyone in my family, I love birds, and I have been continually feeding them sunflower kernels, and I just had to restock up on that. I do limit that a lot because it's expensive, but we did do that. And then I was gifted something from a family member that is very sentimental to me for the bathroom, and so I had to redo a little bit of the bathroom as far as towels and other things to make it look kind of similar. So I spent $33.89 on a bathroom update, bringing that total to $192.87 for fun plus other. And then as far as birthdays and holidays, I spent $63.78 on Christmas stuff, $10 on birthday presents, $5.27 on cards for holidays to send out to family, and then $75 on my parents' anniversary stuff, and that is all of us kids putting together to get a picture frame and then put their milestone announcement in the newspaper and all the things. So I ended up spending $154.05 on birthdays and holidays. So yay for that. That brings my total personal expenses to $3,238.90, about $623 more than I was estimating with this, but we did have dental come in for their and that anniversary that I wasn't expecting that much, so it makes sense why we hit that. Let's go ahead and take a look at my business expenses. So getting into the business, we have that internet split 85-15%, where we paid $50 from business side. Didn't have Norton Security. We did have Enduring Finances had a big fee here as far as Bluehost, which is my website hosting platform where I go through WordPress and all the things. Paid $429.63 for that and maintaining and all the things. And then as far as Holy Smokes Photography, I forgot to update this, but we did have a little bit of expenses as far as Etsy fees and Etsy marketing. I don't know how I forgot to update that, but yeah. So we're just going to leave that as it didn't happen, but it did. Shame. Anyways, moving on. Let's keep going. As far as additional income goes, I spent $33.46 on gas doing additional income projects as far as donating plasma and Lime scooters and all the things. But this brings my business expenses to $513.09, missing that Etsy breakdown. We're probably looking at like $34, $35 there. I can't believe I forgot to do that, but whatever, it is what it is. Let's jump right into the income breakdown of this. Alright, so we see that VA benefit fixed 2023 rate coming at $508.05. I made $1,304.43 from my part-time pizza dough job, and then $500 from my other income source that we've already talked about a little bit. And then as far as the business side of things, the Enduring Finances, we made $1.57 off of website ads. We made $3.97 off of stock photos. And as far as additional income, we earned $555 from donating plasma. Didn't do any DoorDash or Uber Eats again this month. I did make $114 doing Lime scooters. And then the big whopper came from Rover, where I did some dog sitting and going in and taking care of a couple of dogs while they were there. I had one of my repeat clients, both of them are repeat clients, Bruiser came back over to my house and stayed for a couple days, and I went over and took care of Stella and Sophie and just had fun with that. So that brought my total additional income to $1,053 even, bringing my total income between all of them to $3,371.02. Now, let's go ahead and see how this breaks down total-wise. So we can see that my expenses were $3,751.99, plus the forgotten Etsy fees there. My income was only $3,371.02, meaning that I was short $380.97. We'll just round that up to about $400 there. So not good, especially because I wanted to save $100, but we had some expenses come in that I needed to take care of, and I put a lot of effort into personal projects with that, so that makes sense. We can see the breakdown between the personal side and the business side here. And then let's go ahead and jump into my investments really quick here. We have my high yield savings account where I made $4.21 off of just interest for that. Way more than I was estimating there. They've made a lot of changes and adjusted that. As far as my stock portfolio, we'll just jump over. I made $105.92 off of dividends. We didn't do any trades, have any fees with that. As far as my lending club, we made $5.60 off of principal returned to us, and then 60 cents off of interest returned to us, and then 6 cents in fees, bringing the total to $6.14. As far as my 403b retirement account, we saw a loss in market value of $1,206.01 with 0 fees accrued. And then my thrift savings plan, which is the government supplemental retirement plan, we saw a loss of market value of $299.76 with 0 fees included in that, bringing my total investing returns to a loss of $1,389.44 with 6 cents in fees. And again, my math does not math right. I need to fix this calculation. Anyways, this spreadsheet is not perfect, nor am I, and that is okay, because we all know that we're human, and yeah, that's okay. Let's go ahead and see how my Christmas and birthday stuff impacted my sinking funds that I've been kind of calculating here. We can see as birthdays, we spent $117.64. My estimation for this year was $250. I think we're going to nail that on the head because we are super close to hitting it. As far as trips, we're still spent $697.28. We kind of X the AC unit here. As far as Christmas, we are up to $99.22 with an estimation of $300. And I will say that I am almost 100% complete with all of my Christmas presents. There's a couple still that I need to get, but the majority of them for all of my munchkins, my nieces and nephews, have been bought, paid for, and checked off my list. As far as Jackson, we bought more dog food this month, so the estimation of $800 here is probably low since we've still got a couple more months left in the year, including his annual vet visit. So we spent $706.12, and that's probably going to be closer to $1,000 by the end of the year. And then my ER fund has taken a hit because, well, you have to hit your goals if you want to keep that there. So we have about $1,650 in that. The goal is $12,000, so we have about $10,350 to go with that. But speaking of my ER fund and what that looks like, let's go ahead and jump into my net worth breakdown and see how that has been impacted by everything. All right, so we still have my primary asset, my home, valued estimated at $308,800. $150 cash on hand, $50 in my checking account, $0 in my saving account, $1,650 in my emergency fund, $51 in my lending club. My stock portfolio is now valued at $29,332. My 403b is valued at $228,912. My TSP is now valued at $14,059. And then we jump down to my personal property, which has stayed the same, bringing my total assets value to under $400,000, $398,604. Those numbers are so hard to say. And then as far as my liabilities, the only thing we have is the remaining mortgage on my house, which is caught at $186,905. And so my net worth is still positive, coming in at $211,699. And we saw a 2.7 decrease percent value decrease in my net worth from the month of August to September, where we had a big drop in my total assets values. And that's because we took a hit not only with my emergency fund, but also with my lending club and all of my investment accounts, just because paying off the market value took a hit and my lending club is slowly disappearing as planned. But that is going to wrap things up as far as my budget and net worth update for the month of September. Next week I'll do a breakdown of all of the individual dividends that I've earned from my stock portfolio, and look forward to sharing what happens in the month of October with you guys. So I'll see you next time.